Manila from Bangkok, Thailand with travel buddy Arnold and his family. And since some of my viewers can't help feel nostalgic after seeing the A340 in some of my vlogs, here's something to come back to: our last flight aboard PAL's now retired aircraft. One thing that never got tarnished is the signature Filipino hospitality, which you'd immediately feel upon stepping inside a Philippine Airlines flight. Even when flying in an old plane, the warm welcome remains a classic. In this case, as we head towards our assigned seats, I personally can't help but get a good look of this plane's cabin. From its seats in business class, to the galleys I passed through, and into the old economy section, which I, not too long from this recording, won't be seeing again, as this A340 is inevitably bound to be replaced by the newer A350. And speaking of seats, I asked my travel buddy Leeway about how she'd manage without those IFEs.
And what are you gonna do? There's no IFEs. There's no TV.
What?
There's no monitor screens. No cartoons.
I want to use my iPad.
Good. Nice backup.
Ironically, our plane sits next to a Thai Airways A350, reminding us that technology will always replace what used to be the latest one during its heydays. And meanwhile, I'm just savoring the sight of these old seats, and instead of finding negative things about how worn out they are, I just placed my hand on some of them and quietly said thanks to the many passengers this plane has carried and brought people closer together. I'm glad to have tried this A340 one last time before it's gone for good.
Alright, meanwhile, we're filling up the cabin. Here's what's happening. They're preparing the galley for meal later. So ngayon special meal tayo, so expect na will be served first. That's a Hindu meal.
A quick glimpse of what's happening at the galley before our flight, and I'm off settled in my assigned seat. It didn't take long and we're rolling towards the runway and taking off for Manila. Once on cruising altitude, crew members began handing out customs declaration forms along with vouchers for free SIM cards. However, it was disrupted as we passed through some air turbulence, which brought inconvenience for some time.
Once again, signal sign is on, please comply.
Once turbulence was gone, crew members started serving lunch, with special meals like mine handed out ahead of the rest. On international flights, I ordered special meals like this one, Hindu meal, which I find tastier than regular ones served in coach. One advantage ordering special meals, you get to be served ahead of the others no matter where you are in economy. After serving of in-flight meals, selling of duty-free items follow. This is a good time to buy gifts as well as collectibles and souvenirs exclusively from the airline. Or, this is also a good time to take a nap, as there's about 2 more hours till we get to Manila. In Leeway's case, she decided to watch movies from the iPad she brought along to entertain herself throughout the flight.
We're hanging out here at the back. I don't feel like sitting too long. It's quite uncomfortable for me.
Like some passengers, I just can't get myself to sleep on this special flight, and that I chose to enjoy my time inside this plane until we reach our destination.
Binibinigin at Ginoo maligayang pagdating sa Maynila. Manatiling nakaupo at nakakabit ang seatbelt hanggang ang eroplano ay ganap nang nakahinto. Maaari lamang kunin ang inyong mga gamit kapag ang fasten seatbelt sign ay hindi na nakailaw at nabigyan na kayo ng pahintulot na bumaba. Mag-ingat po sa pagkuha ng inyong mga gamit mula sa overhead stowage bins upang maiwasan ang pagkahulog nito sa inyo at sa inyong mga katabi.
Our plane finally makes a complete stop at Terminal 2, where many of its sister aircraft are parked. It's then time to disembark, but since we wanted to try our chance to visit the flight deck, we decided to be one of the last ones to go. Yeah, that's our style. Let most of the passengers out, and when almost no one's left, we ask permission from the crew if we can go take a visit and have some souvenir photos at the cockpit. With this A340's days in service already numbered, we just gotta have a souvenir photo. Well, there are other passengers having their photos taken at the flight deck, and we are held up a bit in line to wait for our turn. Ask my travel buddy Arnold, this one really took a long while. Fortunately, with our young travel buddy Leeway tagging along, we were allowed to have our photos taken at the flight deck along with the pilot.
Where's my mango sticky rice? Wala! I'll take a picture.
Yan, wait lang. 1, 2, wait lang. 1, 2, 3 kasama si Cap. Ano si Sir Alges? Cap, 1, 2, dami-dami siya sa. Okay. And it was time to go. Flight was uneventful, but a bit sentimental knowing that this is gonna be the last time we'll be on board PAL's A340 aircraft.
Nag-visit siya sa flight deck ng A340. Very rare na siguro yung nasakyan natin yung A340 kasi he's based in Bacolod. Last look. Oo nga, tingnan natin tuloy.
Yup, for a ritual, we make our last glimpse of the old A340, quietly saying our thanks for its years in service, from taking our fellow Filipinos to lands of opportunities, and perhaps bringing them back home to their loved ones. Like PAL 747 that went ahead, this A340's gotta go, along with wonderful memories and stories it has witnessed from each and every passenger it has carried during its time.